Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Loc Salon Talk with LA. I am back in Michigan. This is my third Loc Talk video. If you've been following the channel, you will see that I was posting quite a few shorts while I was in Houston. I thought that was pretty cool to do, just to give you some screen time and keep you updated. So if you looked at the last short, you saw that I washed my hair while I was in Houston, just because the Houston humidity had definitely had your girl, you know, a little sweating in the head, and I just felt the need to wash my hair. So I did that, and then I plaited my hair. It's been a long time since I plaited my hair. I've been locked 5.5 years now, and I think for this particular time, I did them smaller, because I think usually I would kind of have bigger ones, but you know, your curls they're not as defined, you know, the bigger that you do them. So I had time. That's the definite thing about it. When you're on vacation and, you know, it's kind of like a leisure vacation, you definitely have a little bit more time. It took me about an hour and a half to do this. It took me about an hour and a half to do this. And so that was on Monday morning, because that was my last full day in Houston. I left early Tuesday afternoon. But I wanted to leave the plaits in there all day Monday, all day Tuesday. Today is Wednesday, and I am back on the clock with my job as a librarian for a private university. This is my work from home day, so I kind of planned my vacation very strategically, because I learned over my years of traveling, it's good to come home and kind of not have to jump right back into, I got to get to work, you know. So I'm very fortunate that as a librarian, I can have a work from home day 1 day a week, and my day that I chose is Wednesday. Nope, not Friday, even though that would be great. But I kind of like a break midway, you know, in the week, you know, like after a busy weekend or something, come to work Monday, Tuesday, and then I get a little break. That makes Thursday and Friday a lot easier to contend with. Not that, you know, my job as a librarian is, you know, driving me crazy or anything like that. I actually love my job. But like I said, so I'm leaving these in throughout today. I would love to do it for the rest of the week. I don't know. Maybe I could pull it back and wear a ponytail. This is doable, maybe. Look at that. That's one thing, because, you know, I am definitely about professionalism in the workplace. Yeah, I've never worn my hair like this to work, but I did kind of like that. If I pulled my hair back, maybe I could get away with this Thursday and Friday. It would be so cool, because Friday I'm actually going to one of my line sisters' birthday parties, 50th birthday party. So it would be good for my crinkles to be crinkling. Am I gonna sneeze? Oh, okay. Definitely not in the Texas heat here in Michigan. It's a little cooler here. Not terrible. You know, it's our typical spring. But anyway, I'm going to leave these in. So, my trip to Houston, I had a great time. I will probably do a little recap video of my trip and probably link it, you know, or post it up here. I kind of like that, so you can see a little bit of what I was doing with my grandchildren and my daughters. We had a great, great time. This is the second time that I have visited my daughter and granddaughters since my daughter decided to relocate to Houston last September. So, definitely came as a huge surprise. But that's what she did, and I'm rocking with it. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about, you know, in the Loc Salon is the presumptuousness that as a grandmother, I am just supposed to just move and relocate to wherever my daughter goes with, you know, my grandchildren. And I'm like, I'd be honest, of course, I love my grandchildren. I love my daughter. I do wish I could see them like I was used to seeing them just whenever I wanted to. You know, they practically around the corner, you know, when you compare it to being in Houston. But, you know, first I would say my daughter's move was kind of spontaneous. You know, like when my husband passed away almost 7 years ago. And somewhere I read, you know, that during that first year of grieving, it's not a time to, you know, make those, make major decisions, you know. So I only had to make one major decision after my husband passed. And that was, you know, because we had a house fire. So I did have to make a major decision whether I wanted to use the insurance proceeds to pay off my house and have it demolished or rebuild, get it repaired. So it wasn't a total rebuild, it was a repair. So I decided to repair. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, my nose is kind of running there. Oh, goodness. Yeah, you know, this is the other thing that happens. As a side note, when I visit my grandchildren, even when they lived here in Michigan, you know, they go to daycare. So children are always journey. So when I come away from, you know, having significant time with them, I am always a little sick. Get a little sick, and then you couple that with the humidity in Texas, then coming back here to Michigan, much cooler temperatures, and my daughter had her air conditioned on Arctic, which she would probably say it wasn't on Arctic, but it was definitely on an icebox for me. So I took some Alka-Seltzer the day before I left Houston, and I took it yesterday when I got home. But anyway, back to her decision to move. So like I said, she moved kind of spontaneously, and I was like, okay. I was devastated. But, you know, I'm getting better, and luckily, I'm not the person that I was, I would say 15 years ago. I was not a person that was used to doing a lot of travel. But since my marriage to my husband in 2012, and then my membership in Delta Sigma Theta actually also in 2012, I have become more of a traveler. You know, my network of friends has increased, you know, so we travel for our conferences and things like that. And then we also just travel as groups of friends. We just had our Deltaversary was in 2022, and our 10-year Deltaversary, and we went to Mexico, you know, so yeah, I've been traveling, you know, a lot more. So this is a good time in my life for her to not live here. So although my preference for my grandmother life would be to be with my grandkids, you know, be able to go over there on a random Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, whatever, but that's not the case. But I do think that when people say that, like, well, when are you moving? Because I just had one of my childhood friends lives in Houston, Texas as well, and she came to visit, and that was something that she asked me, so when are you moving? And I was like, excuse me. I'm like, I am not moving anytime soon. My daddy told me never to say never. What I'm doing right now, guys, is I have this Carol's Daughter. This is a 7-oil blend, hair and scalp oil. So I'm just going to oil my hair as I talk. But yeah, so she asked me, when was I moving? And, oh, I think I was actually saying, my daddy taught me never to say never. Never say what you would not do. So I will not say that I will never move, but I don't think it's going to be to Texas, just because my thing is, that's where my daughter wanted to move. I don't think that I should move to where she is just because she's there, you know, because any decision that I make in relocating, that has to be, you know, kind of something that I want to do. It needs to be a place that I want to be, you know, because you can't, you know, what if I went down there in a few years or so, my daughter meets somebody, you know, and gets herself remarried. And what if they decide to relocate, you know, for whatever reason? What am I going to do? You know, pack up my stuff again and follow my grandchildren? I'm like, no, we can't do that, because I myself, number one, am still a working person. I probably have another 10, 15 years for retirement. And I know that you can always change jobs. You can always buy a house, or, you know, get an apartment, whatever. That's fine, but that's not going to be my life, you know, globe trotting, you know, wherever my children go. So at this point, what I'm going to do is just have frequent trips for sure while my grandbabies are little, you know. They're 3 and 2. So I'm going to see them often. And luckily my daughter, she's also going to be coming back to Michigan. So we'll see each other frequently. I think pretty good. Because I'll tell you, after my visit with my babies, I was ready. You know, I was ready to get back home. They needed me to leave as well so they could get back into their routine. You know, because when you are a mom of a 3 and a 1-year-old or more, you know, you have to have your routine to make that function, right? So that is, you know, so it was good for me to go. My daughter, as much as she enjoyed my visit, would love for me to be there to be able to, you know, help her. She was probably like, okay, yeah, when mom leaves, I got to get these girls back on their routine, right? And I totally get it. Get them back on the routine. So I'll give this last bit of information because I don't want to have long videos. My daughter gave me some unsettling news as I was leaving, as she was taking me to the airport. She drops this bomb on me about my son, who just turned 20 years old. And it's something that I'm not going to disclose it here. Not yet, but it is something that he needs to tell me himself. But he told her some time ago, confided in her, and asked her not to tell me. So she's been trying to get him to tell me this information so that she didn't have to sit on it. I'm quite proud of my daughter for sitting on it as long as she did, let me tell you. Because my daughter is usually one that cannot hold water. This is some jojoba oil I am putting on my face because I've been having some dryness. So putting this on here. But anyway, so she told me this information about my son, and I'm like, whoo, it did put a damper on my trip. You know, my son just visited. I think I mentioned this in another video. My son had just been here visiting, in a couple months ago. Not even a whole couple months ago. Well, now it is a couple months ago. It was in March. And, you know, so he could have confided and told me this information himself, but he didn't. So now I'm kind of like, of course, as a mama, I wanted to call him up immediately and be like, oh, really? So this what we doing? You know? But I do not want to break the confidentiality between him and his sister. So what I advised her to do, I just told her she needs to tell him again, like, hey, you need to tell mom. Or do you just want me to tell her? Because I personally think we both are in agreement that he probably would be like, yeah, you can tell her. Because he wants to take the easy way out. You tell her, you know. But my thing is, you're an adult. You're an adult now. You're 20 years old. You are serving the United States in the Air Force. You know, you have to man up and, you know, speak your... You know, you need to be able to say what you need to say to your mother or whomever you need to say it to. It's not for her to tell me. I do understand why she did, because it's something that I should know. And, because I don't like keeping secrets. Like, my thing is, don't come tell me something that you don't want me to tell anybody, especially if the somebody is like somebody that I have regular communication with in terms of, you know, family members and stuff like that, or a best friend. That's just not fair to put that on somebody. So, you know, I'm dealing, you know, with the knowledge that I have, and I've been in communication with my son, but haven't said anything about this. Maybe I'll just increase my communication with him and just be like, hey, how you doing, babe? You know, and just get up some more conversation, and maybe that will make it a little bit easier. But my prayer is that he tells me himself. But yeah, so what would you all do? Like, if it was your, and I don't want to say what it is, but you know, it's not, I won't even give it any. I'm just saying. So if you learn some information when it comes to your children, do you just would you put your daughter on blast? Like, hey, I know this information, let's talk about it. Or would you give him a little bit more time? Should I give my son a little bit more time to tell me what he needs to tell me, you know, about, you know, himself, you know, about his life, his business, but he should tell me. But I told my daughter, I'm like, oh my God, why could you have let me, like, get on the plane, focus on having a safe flight, getting back home, and then told me once I was home? Because quite honestly, I could not quite enjoy those last few hours of commuting back home. You know, I was reading my book, and I was, you know, it was just like, but what I know now was like floating through my head, you know. So that's all, you know. So that's all. So I would love to hear your comments about what you think I should do. You know, we in the Loc Salon, so we can talk about it. Do you throw the daughter under the bus and go directly to the son and say, hey, I know this, or let them kind of work this out? Because I think she could convince him he needs to tell me, or that she's going to tell me by this particular date, just to give him the opportunity. Because I know their relationship was already a little, it was kind of challenging for a minute. Like, she wasn't talking to him for a little while. So I definitely don't want to damage a relationship that has kind of already gone through a little turmoil, you know. So they are, they're 9 years apart. She's 29, he's 20, you know. So these are my children. They are, you know, who I created in this world. I need them to get along as they always have. So nope, I'm not just going to bust them out. You know, but that's me. I would love to know what you guys think. So next time I come on, hopefully it'll be at the end of the week. Maybe I'll do my takedown. I might do my takedown on Thursday, just to give my curls a little chance to kind of fall a little bit throughout Friday, the day before I go to the party. But I'm excited. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you are not a subscriber, and share. I really appreciate it, and I'm loving this platform of just being able to come and talk, you know, to whoever wants to listen about the things that I miss talking about with my own beautician, you know. So if you want to talk, let's talk about it. You can even give me ideas of some things that you want me to talk about. It won't always be my personal life. Maybe it'll be some things that, you know, late breaking news, all of that. You know, we could talk about it. But till next time.